Now, the last couple Snare Saturday videos have been showcasing the Ludwig Slotted Coliseum. The first video was the aluminum Slotted Coliseum. Shout out to Snare Saturday crew member Wade Dixon for sending that. And then the follow-up video was comparing that aluminum Slotted Coliseum to a wood Slotted Coliseum that Ludwig reissued around 2016 or so. So it just makes sense that for this Snare Saturday video, we're going to take both of those drums and compare it to an Orange County Drums and Percussion vented snare drum. Because fun fact, those drums were designed based off of the Slotted Coliseum. But don't take my word for it, take Daniel Jensen's word for it.
It was like, okay, Ludwig had a Slotted Coliseum, which would be maybe the predecessor to the vented snare drum, but I mean, that was a pretty one-trick pony.
For those of you who are new or unfamiliar with the channel, hi, welcome. My name is Nick Costa, and I am a drummer from Philly, PA. Now, before we dive into this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, as well as the bell icon. That way you're notified of any additional content that I upload to the channel. So let's talk about a little history about these drums. In the 80s, Ludwig released the Coliseum snare drum. This was an 8x14 snare drum that was outfitted with 12 lugs, and its design was meant to be powerful and project. Now, for the gear nerds out there, you had the option of getting these 6-ply maple shells with either a P85 or P87 throw-off, and you could choose between triple flange or die-cast hoops. Now, a few years later, they released the Split Coliseum. This was the same 6-ply maple shell. However, it was split in half and there was a gap between the top and bottom portions of the shell. These were still outfitted with 12 lugs, and you had the option of once again having either a P85 or P87 throw-off, or the choice between triple flange or die-cast hoops. Now, these split Coliseums, or what Ludwig is now calling the Slotted Coliseums, were a drum that were made to have more power and more projection behind them. But as some of you know who play an 8x14 shell, that's pretty deep and can get in the way, especially if you're sitting pretty low. So fast forward to the Orange County Drums and Percussion era, and you have a drum company who's trying to get a similar sound, but not have a shell as deep. And now you have these drums that are super thick plies and have a bunch of big vents in them to get a sound just like it. And if you're someone like me who grew up in that era, then you probably destroyed one of your drums by drilling really big holes into it, like I did with the drum that's featured in the very first Snare Saturday video. So when I was in college, I actually realized what a terrible idea that was, and I decided to try and get a new drum that eventually I would restore. And as ridiculous as that may be, it's safe to say it's a unique sound that a lot of people were going after, and they still are. So let's go ahead and talk about the specs of each drum, starting with the Ludwig aluminum Slotted Coliseum. This is a 6mm seamless aluminum shell that is split in half, so there's a gap in the middle. Now, this drum is outfitted with 10 double-sided bow tie lugs, also known as the large twin lugs, Ludwig's die-cast hoops on the top and the bottom, as well as Ludwig's P88 AC throw-off and P35P butt plate. Unlike other drums that come from the Ludwig factory, this one is outfitted with a Remo CS dot coated on the top and an Ambassador snare side on the bottom. Finally, this drum does come from the Ludwig factory with a set of Pure Sound Super 30 snare wires. Now, this reissue wood Slotted Coliseum that I have is from around 2016 or so. It is a 6-ply classic maple shell. It is also outfitted with 12 large twin lugs, or the double-sided bow tie mock lugs. This drum is outfitted with the Ludwig P85 throw-off and the matching butt plate that goes along with it, which are the ones that require a screwdriver rather than a drum key to tighten and loosen. Now, to try to make it a bit more uniform, even though there are some discrepancies between these two drums, this drum is outfitted with a Remo CS dot coated head on the top and a Ludwig Weathermaster snare side head on the bottom, which some folks are saying these new releases of the Weathermaster heads are actually just made by Remo. Finally, this drum is outfitted with a set of 20-strand Ludwig wires. Now let's go ahead and talk about the Orange County Drums and Percussion vented snare drum. This is one of their 15-ply vented snare drums and was one that was made when Guitar Center acquired the OCDP brand. What makes it different, however, is that this drum was in fact built in the original factory in Southern California. Now, this particular drum is outfitted with tube lugs that are offset. It has triple flange hoops on the top and the bottom, and a trick throw-off with the OCDP logo on the side. Now, this drum is outfitted with a Remo Ambassador coated head on the top and an Ambassador snare side head on the bottom. Finally, the drum is outfitted with what looks like a set of generic 20-strand wires, but it does look like the World Max German wires. Now, the interesting thing about this drum is that it measures about 5 3/4. So it could be a 5.5, or it could be a 6. Well, we are about this close to those summer months, and you know what that means. A lot of people are gonna start trying to transform themselves, which means it's the perfect opportunity for today's sponsor, WordPress.com. You can design a website that fits your brand's aesthetic while looking professional and having the opportunity to sell goods all in one place. And the best part is, you own it. It's not rented space on a social media platform. And with WordPress.com's AI website builder, you can just have a conversation and have the website built within minutes. So to get started, visit WordPress.com/AFF/Nick Costa Music, or simply click the link in the description below to improve your online presence for the summer. Now, let's get back to the video. So in this video, what I'm gonna do is play each drum through a few different tunings. I'm gonna start out in the low tuning and work my way up to a higher tuning. Now, as I'm in each tuning, I will check both the top and bottom head with a TuneBot just to make sure I'm getting the same hertz reading across all three of them. So enough of me talking, let's dive in. So there you have it. You've had the chance to hear two different Ludwig Slotted Coliseums alongside an Orange County drums and percussion vented snare drum, so you can hear the similarities between them. I'd love to know what you think of each drum and which one was your favorite, so make sure that you let me know in the comment section below. And if you are looking to get any of these drums for yourself, I've put affiliate links to the two different Slotted Coliseums in the description below. And if you are looking to get an OCDP vented snare drum, at the time of making this video, the only one that's available brand new at this point is the new Adrian Young signature drum, although I have no doubt in my mind that it's a matter of time before Guitar Center releases drums like this one, because that's the drum that everybody wants. Now, if you have any other additional questions on any of the drums, the gear that I'm playing in this video, or anything else, feel free to leave that in the comment section as well, and I'll try my best to answer it. If you want to check out the older Snare Saturday videos where I am featuring each drum individually, I've put links to those videos in the description below. And if you want to see what this entire Snare Saturday series is all about, I've put a link to the playlist in the description below. I'll also have it come up right here to make it a bit easier for you. Finally, if you enjoyed this video and found it informative, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up. And if you are viewing this video within the first 7 days of it going live on your phone, please hype the video. This is a fairly new feature on YouTube, and the more that a video gets hyped, the more the algorithm shows it to other folks, which in return helps support the channel. And that is it. Thank you so much for checking out this video on comparing the Ludwig Slotted Coliseums to an Orange County drums and percussion vented snare drum. And until next time, see you later.